What is going on YouTube? SerWinter coming at you with another Rust gameplay, and it's been a while since I've actually done a video like this. I think the last time I did it was February 15th, 2016, and the video was called What I Want to See in Rust 2016 or some shit. I don't know, I can't remember. But, you know, I've got a list here of things I'd like to see changed or added. This isn't a big old bitch fest about Rust. I think the game's doing quite well at the moment without these things, but it'd be nice to see some of these things added. I'm not going to go into a big whole tangent of, you know, awesome things I'd like to see added. Just some things that I think that would really make Rust a better game and that are very viable, like very doable things. And to make it a more fun experience for the current players and whatever. So, the first thing on the list here is I have lower crafting times for bullets. Something that I've noticed since we started using guns is the amount of time you have to sit in your base crafting bullets. It's crazy. If the bullet crafting time was lowered, it wouldn't take away anything from the game. It wouldn't add an unfair advantage. It still costs gunpowder, so you still have to ration it pretty, you know, sensibly. So I think to make the game a bit faster for everyone and a bit more enjoyable, lowered crafting times for bullets would be a great thing for Rust, and I'm sure it will happen. They did it to arrows. Remember when they cost 20 seconds? That shit was nuts. The next thing on the list, lower crafting times in general. Yeah, some things just take a bit way too long to craft. I'm talking like high stone external walls and wood walls and whatever. Like, these are things that people craft so they can carry extra loot for an extended period of time, which I think, you know, was a bit of an exploit while raiding. I know a lot of people here like enjoy it, or maybe not, I don't know. But if you come across like a whole chest of stone, you shouldn't be able to like start a 3-minute craft time and carry a whole chest of something else. You should have to make a choice between what loot you want to take. What else has some really insane craft times? Some weapon mods? Some of those take like, what, minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It adds up. It's crazy. You can sit in your base crafting a full kit and bullets for like half an hour for one person. And that includes meds as well. Something else I've noticed since we started using guns is the gun cost for certain guns. Like 50 high qual for an AK is nuts. I'd really like to see that lowered. I think, don't lower it too much, but 50 high qual. I mean, for one person's full kit, it's about 100 high qual. That's not including gun mods. It's pretty fucking wild for one person. I mean, I'd like to see that lowered a little bit. I mean, maybe even 40, 35 high qual for an AK, including all its components. I mean, 4 springs as well. That's an expensive gun. I mean, the gun is great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, some of you people probably don't think it's great since the aim cone changes or whatever, but I've been enjoying it, especially, you know, with the silencer mod, laser sight, and the simple scope. I get a lot of people telling me to take off the fucking silencer or whatever, but, you know, who's been getting the kills with it? I really enjoy the silencer. But yeah, just seeing some high qual prices dropped for certain guns would be nice. I mean, I think the semi-rifle is perfectly fine where it is. 450 frags, the spring and the rifle body. Maybe even make it a bit more expensive, I guess. Because you see people running around in the first half an hour with semi-rifles on a fresh wipe, just fucking everyone up. It's crazy. The next thing I have, cheaper armored wall costs. And that's talking about base upgrades. Who even uses armored walls, really? I think I saw somewhere that it costs 800 high quality metal to upgrade a 2x2? Like, who is going to use 800 high quality metal to upgrade a 2x2's worth? That's crazy. Probably lower it down to 70%. Maybe even 65% of the cost. Because it just costs way too much high qual. I've not seen any armored section in a base for a long time. And probably because you can only afford to upgrade a very, very small fraction of your base with it. And then it just pinpoints where the loot is too. Next on the list is cheaper armored doors. Those things are really fucking expensive, considering you can just blow around them. Unless they're double doors, of course. But 5 gears and 30 high qual. That's a bit too much. I'm thinking more like maybe 2 gears and 20 high qual, something like that. Now that's for single doors. I don't know about the cost for double doors, whether it should stay the same or what, because you could really fill up your base with those. Next on the list, higher tiered bow, the compound bow, the famous compound bow that everyone's been talking about for a minute. I think this will eventually come into the game. It'd be better sooner rather than later. Even different arrows would be nice. I mean, just the high velocity arrows right now, it kind of sucks. You know, to kill a fully geared guy with a bow, I think it takes, what, 5 headshots or something, and that's just assuming he doesn't heal up. I mean, you shouldn't really stand much of a chance against a geared guy with a bow, but you should stand some kind of chance, you know what I'm saying? The only time I've ever really been able to take down a geared guy recently with a bow has been if they really suck, have no meds, and are already weakened from another gunfight or something like that. That's why I'd like to see a compound bow added. Make it cost high qual, and add a new component in for it or something, like the bow shaft or something like that. I think a compound bow is sorely needed after the crossbow nerf. Next thing on the list, shields. Shields would be fucking awesome. I'd love to see 2 different types of tiered shields. I think I spoke about this in that video I was talking about that I made at the start of the video. Wood shields and metal shields, I think would be awesome. It'd make melee combat a lot more used, I think. I mean, I'd probably pick a sword and a shield over a bow, maybe. Or, you know, run both, actually. Because if a guy's running around with, like, a buckler, you know, just like one of those kind of small shields on his hand, on his arm, and he's charging down a guy who only has a bow, I mean, that would be fucking sick. I mean, just picture it, like, this guy shooting at a guy with a sword and a shield, and he just blocks the arrows with his fucking buckler, and he starts charging you down. You'd shit yourself. I mean, it's already scary enough when a guy runs at you with a sword, and he gets close enough. I think with a sword and a shield, I think a lot more melee PvP fights would happen in early game. It'd be awesome to see, because at the moment it's a ranged game, you know, bows, bullets. You have to get really lucky to get a sword kill, because you have to get up close. I mean, not many people really go out of their way to craft swords, or any kind of melee weapon, really. The only time I've ever really come across anyone with swords are like people who get it out of purple crates or something like that. It's the only time I ever use them. I don't know, I can't really speak for other people, I guess, but I'm sure the situation is similar. And, you know, have the wooden shield quite weak, like it can break after taking, I don't know, 15 arrow shots or something like that. And then you have like the metal tiered shield, which can't be broken by arrows, but can be broken by bullets or something like that. I think that'd be awesome to see. Next thing on the list, a solution for servers dying quickly. This is something that has been bugging me for a while now. Every time we play on a server, it fucking dies within within the day. Like the next day, it is like half the pop. Day after that, it is dead. The only servers I really see that doesn't happen to are like the servers that have big zergs on them. I'm talking like Rustified, Rustopia, Rustralasia, you know, the big boy servers. And as a person who plays with a small group, or solo, or, you know, just me and Biz, you don't want to go to those servers. I think, I'm waking up sleeping dogs here, but I think the BP system did quite well on keeping people to a server to a degree. It didn't lock them in like the XP system did. Oh, fuck, that was terrible. I mean, you could change server with a little bit of grinding at a whim if you wanted on a BP server, but yeah, the XP just really locked you in there, didn't it? I don't know if it's to do with components or what, but a lot of people just do server hopping now. I mean, you lose all your components, you lose everything. There's no point. You may as well just change server to a fresher server, because all these servers have started to clue on that people are doing this, and now they wipe they wipe every 3 days, 4 days, some of them. Some of them even wipe like every second day. Like, if I looked up a server right now there'd be a freshly wiped server today. If I looked up a new server tomorrow, there'd be a freshly wiped server, and so on and so forth. There's always a server wiped, and it's always like packed for that one day, and then everything just dies. I think people really enjoy the fast-paced action that Rust is now. I do. I enjoy it. Things take quite a while to grind for in some cases, going off of what I said before. But yeah, I think something needs to be implemented where servers won't be killed off so quickly due to being raided and losing all your components or something like that. Yeah, here's a big one. A real big one. A button that sorts your chests. You know, these poor old base bitches get stuck in their bases, sorting out everyone's fucking loot, and it can take a minute, you know, and stacking your chests can be quite annoying. Like, I don't even look at a full chest anymore. I just open a chest, start spamming right-click on all my items, and hope they stack. It'd be nice to see some kind of sort loot. Or even a button that also puts the current loot in your inventory into a box with one click. But there shouldn't be a button implemented where you can just like press a button and loot everything off a body though. It should only be for storage specific. Another thing I have on the list here is a damage revamp. I think headshots need to be addressed, especially for arrows. The amount of times like you have to headshot a metal face mask guy is insane. I think it's like 4 or 5 times or something. And that's assuming they don't med. Like, it's nuts. I really think that they should bring back the damage to eye sockets in like the coffee can and the metal face mask. If you hit them in the eye, like it really fucking hurts. I think something like that would be dope. Also, just damage in general, just needs to be kind of looked at, I think. Not in most cases, in some cases. You know, a naked shouldn't be able to survive a bow shot to the head. It's a little too much for me. Like, maybe make the damage 95 and like the bleeding 12 or something, so that the person, if they're naked, does get headshot, they have to bandage. Otherwise, they're gonna bleed out. Also, there was a clip in one of my videos where I hit a naked 5 times with an AK. This is also silent, so I don't, like, that had a little impact on it, but I had to hit him, I think, 5 times to down him. And this was on my solo survival series, a recent video called My Most Successful Solo Adventure Ever. So I think damage needs to be revisited a little bit, especially for people with no armor. But yeah, definitely bring back the eye socket damage. And the last thing I have on my list here, I know it was a very short list, it's not a very long video, lowering component costs for certain items. And I'm mainly talking about the cost of sewing kits. Sewing kits are fucked. You can't duplicate them, and you know, they can be hard to come across sometimes. Like, you could just go on a really unlucky streak. And I think what does it cost? It costs like 8 or 6 or something for just a metal chest piece. You know, a few for sheet metal armor. It's a little wild. I think components like that should be lowered. I think that's pretty much the only thing that really needs to be lowered, I guess, in terms of component costs. Also, I think barrel drops for really unneeded components should be a little bit more rarer to come by, such as metal propane tanks. Those things are annoying. You only get a little bit of metal frags out of them. I guess it's good for when you want to like start a base and you get them and recycle them and make a code lock, but that's about it. And I think most people probably just make the furnace and put a lock on their base and wait for that anyway. But anyway, that's the end of the video. I know it was a short list, it was unscripted, so I might have rambled a little bit. If there's anything you'd like to see changed or added to Rust, just leave it in the comments below. I'll be reading quite a few comments because, you know, I like seeing some ideas and stuff like that. But these are just a few of my things that I think should be added soon or should be changed. But anyway, I will catch you guys in the next video.